Hi friends, I'm excited to share a new layout with you today for the Shimmerz Paints design team. I am using the July Color Kitz and I absolutely love everything about the colors in these kits. They are happy and summery and I loved working with the colors and the patterns and all the different things. So I started with a cut file that I created. I started with just a circle and added some lines going across it every which direction because I wanted it to look like the lemons and limes, the slices in the pattern paper that I'm going to be using. So I created these little giant lemons real quick, and I am actually using I laid the paper that I cut over top of another piece of paper, and I'm using the triangles, the negative, really, I think, of the cut file. So the background piece that has the circle cut out of it, and then all those little triangles, because I wanted the actual shape of the lemon, like the edge of the lemon, and then the lines going down the center. So hopefully that makes sense. So I glued down with temporary adhesive each of those little triangles, and then kept that paper down so that I could use it as a stencil. And I added glass bead gel to it. So this is like, it's almost like a texture paste or a gel medium that has little teeny tiny glass beads in it, and it gives a great texture, and I thought it would be perfect for looking like the rind of a lemon or a lime, that texture that it has. And so I had a lot of fun playing with that, and it needed time to sit off to dry. So I did take those triangles out of the cut file while it was wet, so that they didn't get adhered down to the paper. So it was kind of tricky to do, but in the end, it looks really good, or I like how it looks. So while it was drying, I spent some time fussy cutting out lemons and limes and oranges, all those little slices from the patterned paper in the color kits this month. And then you can actually kind of see the dried version right there behind all this patterned paper that I'm using. I love all of these beautiful patterned papers. These are all in the Shimmerz Color Kitz for July, and I used 2 of those to back my photos there. I'm gonna have 3 photos on the layout. And then I used this other piece of patterned paper, and it's kind of hard to tell here, but it is white paper that has tons of little teeny tiny golden yellow squares in it. And it is so cute and playful. And I thought that was a fun patterned paper. So I'm going to use that to adhere my photos to. And I just kind of eyeballed how big across it needed to be. I didn't measure or even use my paper cutter or anything. I just kind of cut across the paper and then sort of made it look like a banner. And then it was a little bit too big, so I went back and tore the edges off and then used my edge distressor. And that's going to act as a great base for the layout, or for the photos. So that's going to be the thing that kind of sets the photos apart from all of the stuff going on in the background, so that you can really still see the photos and still see the focus on those photos in the middle of the page. So I get all of that glued down to that banner. And these pattern papers are so cute, front and back. I had a hard time deciding what to use because they were so cute on both sides. I love the patterned papers this month. So I'm going to get those just right. I did frame my photos first with white and then added those colorful pattern papers behind it because I wanted you to be able to see them. So once the glass bead gel was dry, those big slices that I created, I went to town with the color in the color kits this month. So that first color that I'm using, the orange, is a colorings, and it's called Orange You Glad, which is a super cute name. And it is a bright, very vivid orange, perfect for summer. And then that second color, that beautiful pink, in the bottle, it almost sort of looks like reddish color, but it is called Caribbean Sunset. And it is a beautiful pink, almost a corally pink, but not quite coral. It's a true pink, and it's a beautiful, beautiful color, and that's a spritz. And then the next 2 colors that I'm using are both Shimmerz, and Shimmerz are my favorite because they're super shiny and shimmery. And the first one, that first green color, is called Evergreen. And then the yellow that I'm going to be using is called Sunny. So those are both shimmers. And I just kind of layered this color on. I know it doesn't look realistic at all. You would never have all of these colors on one piece of fruit or anything like that, but I just kind of wanted the whimsical idea of a slice of fruit back there in the background. And then I wanted all of the colors that go with everything else that I'm using on the page. So I kind of just created a hodgepodge of color here. And then I'm going to go back and add some splatters of each color. And you can kind of see, I could have added water to the top of this. That glass bead gel would have whipped away the color if I had added, like if I had sprayed water on top of it to sort of wash it off. I probably could have done that, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted all the color to be front and center. So you'll see in the close-ups, the texture of that glass bead gel is really cool with the color kind of in it and on it. I love how that looks. So I am going to just touch up. I was not wanting to be patient again and wait for something else to dry. So blotted up that color. And then I have the photo banner mounted on some craft foam. And then here, it was super late at night because I had spent a lot of time letting everything dry. So this is the next day I come back, and my slice in the background that I had created was sort of getting lost with all of the color and everything else. So I just took a black marker, or it's actually a flare pen, a black flare pen, and traced around that glass bead gel that I've got there. And that definitely brought to life the image that I have in the background. So now I'm going to take all of those slices that I fussy cut, and I'm going to create some clusters. And I kind of want it to just look like they're like falling down the page, kind of like you took all of these things and you sliced them, and then you like threw them up in the air, and then they landed on the, on the counter or something. So they're landing on my page just kind of randomly. I didn't want it to look too perfect or like they were aligned or anything like that. And then I definitely wanted everything at different levels. So I've got different thicknesses of craft foam, 1/16 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Those are the ones I can remember for the craft foam. And then I went through my thickers stash. So I've got a very extensive collection of thickers that I have created or collected over the years from all the different collections that have come out and ones that I just buy because I love how they look. So I've got tons of letters, and I'm trying to be better about using them. So here I am going to use a bunch of different packages, and I am going to create the title, A Sweet Slice of Summer Fun. So my photos are, we took my daughter and her little best friend and my son to a dessert gallery last week, or I think it was last week. And we got some slices of cake, and I got a key lime pie in a cup. But I don't have any pictures of the things of the key lime pie or any of the stuff. Just pictures of the kids, and while they were picking out their sweet treats. And so I thought it was a cute play on words to have a sweet, because we were, purchasing sweets, of course, and then slice of summer, the slice for all of the things that I'm using, the lemons, limes, and oranges that I've got on the page. And then also like the key lime that I had, the dessert that I had. So anyway, sweet slice of summer. I thought it was just a cute little play on words, and I love these photos, and they made me happy. And so I wanted a super fun, bright, summery layout to go with them. So I'm going to build that title. I actually I thought I was videoing, and I've been doing that sometimes lately, forgetting to push record. So some of the title you're not going to get to see me build, but you see the start of it there. And then here it is all done. Sorry about that I missed some of that, but it's a sweet is above the pictures. So a sweet slice of summer is down, summer fun is down below. And you can see I used green, orange, pink, and yellow, and then the word sweet is in black. So definitely a lot of different, I think I used 5 different sets of thickers there to create that. And I love how it looks. And then the clusters of the oranges and the, all the different things. I cut some leaves from the green patterned paper that I actually backed the middle photo with. It's green with polka dots. And that's in the color kit. So I went ahead and just freehand cut some leaves from that. And I went and, kind of tucked those in and around all of those different slices. And then I also have thread. I used all of the colors of thread that I have in the layout. So the pink, orange, yellow, and green. I used thread in all of those shades to have some tangled thread behind some of the slices here and there. And then I went through the ephemera set. The ephemera is so stinking cute in the kit this month. So I am going to I will be using probably a lot more of it on my next layout, but I do use that cute little piece up at the top. It says something about summer sunsets. I can't see it exactly what it says right now, but it's a cute little piece of ephemera up there above the word sweet. And then I do not end up using that heart. So here what I'm doing is I'm taking all of the beautiful sequins. Oh my gosh, I love the sequins this month and all the colors. And there's actually little teeny tiny clay lemon slices in the sequin set. So I used all of those little things to add embellishments to the centers of each slice on the page. And then I also just glued some to the paper like around in clusters, around each of the little clusters to add some little shine and shimmer. So I will get all of those glued down. Here's some more up at the top. And you can kind of see I have them sort of dripping down the page too. And then I pulled out my pops of color. Of course, I'm adding some of that. And then off camera, I did also add a few little splatters of black ink because the word sweet was in black. And then I had used black to trace both of those slices that I have in the background. I kind of wanted a little bit more black detailing to kind of tie it all together. So I did add a few little splatters here and there of some black ink that you can see in the close-ups. And then that is the finished layout. You can kind of see as I'm showing you some close-up video here of it, all of the shine. And there it is in the final page. So I loved creating this. I love all of these beautiful things in the kits. Remember that if you place an order with Shimmerz Paints, if you put my name, Sarah Millerhouse, in the comment section, you will get a free gift. It is not necessarily a paint. They send different things each time. So it's always fun to see. And I hope you enjoy and find some time to create. Bye for now.